We'll begin. Simple. The company is running in a loss. You want to write off the losses by going for a capital reduction. What is capital reduction? Requesting the equity shareholders, preference shareholders, creditors to forego the liability. Okay, when they forego, it's a profit that is used for writing off which one? Losses. Elaborata we had seen. Okay, what is internal reconstruction and the regular? When a liability is reduced, liability accounted out to what? Capital reduction account. When liability is converted, old liability to what? New liability. Debentures or loans or creditors or preference shares can be given with what? New shares to capital reduction. Capital reduction accounted out to liability. If you find if there is any unrecorded liability to be brought in the books of accounts, then to write off losses, capital reduction accounted out to various losses, assets, etc. There is an increase in asset to capital reduction பார்த்தோம். If there is a reconstruction expense, capital reduction to cash or bank. If there is any balance, it can be transferred to what? Capital reserve. Then, in the question they can give you, for the purpose of working capital, the company issued new shares, new debentures, and the money they would have given you, pass the entry. Suppose if there is any unrecorded liability, like arrears of dividend or bonus payable, unrecorded liability. If there is foregone, no entry. No entry we have seen. Okay. When shares are surrendered, when shares are surrendered, we go for an extra thing. What is extra thing? Simple. Equity share capital to which account? Share surrender account. Using that, we settle the liabilities, and that share surrendered is transferred to which account? Equity. There is share surrendered is converted into equity share capital. Unutilized surrendered shares are transferred to which one? Capital reduction. That also we had seen. Conceptually இவ்வளவுதான். This is model test paper, question number 2. Balance sheet of trial balance of Delta Limited is given to us. Land at cost, calls and arrears கொடுத்திருக்காங்க. Share capital is 500,000. அதுல calls and arrears இருக்கு. Cash in hand, plant and machinery cost is given. Asset side, there is credit side, provision for depreciation they have given. So 824 minus provision for depreciation will give us balance. Trade receivable is given, inventories are given, cash at bank is given, purchase adjusted is given, factory administration and selling expenses debentures are given. Question is this. Oh, this is just preparation of which one? Final accounts. அப்புறமா வரலாம். That's not scheduled for today. Sorry. Okay. This question. Sorry. Question number 3B. Balance sheet as on 31st March 2023 given to us. Share capital, reserves and surplus shows a negative balance. Long-term borrowing irukku, trade payable, bank OD is there. PPE கொடுத்திருக்காங்க. Intangible assets are given. Non-current investments are given. Current assets are given. Details. Equity share capital 20 lakhs. Preference shares 6 lakhs. There is a debit balance of what? P&L account which must be written off. Debentures கொடுத்திருக்காங்க. PPE details, intangible details are given. Investments having a market value of what? 55,000. Preference shareholders will give up 30% of their capital in exchange for allotment of which one? 11% debentures to them. Debenture holders having a charge on plant and machinery will accept what? Plant and machinery in full settlement of their dues. Inventory equal to 5 lakh at book value taken over by what? Trade payables. Wait. Debenture holders take over which one? Plant and machinery. There is no gain or loss there. Inventory also taken over by what? Trade payable. There is no gain or loss there. Investments will be reduced to market price. There is a loss you have to recognize in which account? Capital reduction account. 11% debentures will be issued for working capital requirement. Okay, pass necessary journal entries. Okay, after the internal reconstruction cater. Just go through this, then we'll start solving. Just read through the adjustments. Preference shareholders will give up 30% of their capital in exchange for allotment of which one? 11% debentures to them. What is the preference share capital? 6 lakhs. They forego what? 30%. Start. This is practice test paper or model test paper. Model test paper, May 2024. Question number 3B. Okay. What is the first entry you will pass? 8% preference share capital account data. What is the old value? 6 lakhs. What are we exchanging for that? What are we exchanging for that? 11% debentures. 70% of value kuduthapo because 30% they forgo. To capital reduction. Then what is the next one? Next one paranga. Debenture holders take over a plant and machinery. Plant and machinery appearing at 9 lakhs. Debenture holders are 12 lakhs. Debenture holders are 12 lakhs. Any interest accrued, etc., given in the question? Any accrued interest, check for any outstanding interest and other things? Long-term borrowings, debentures are 12 lakhs. They take over which one? Plant and machinery, which is having a book value of 9 lakhs. What is the entry you will pass? 12% debentures? Old debentures are 9%. Yeah. 9% debentures account data, it is given as 12 lakhs in the balance sheet. They take over plant and machinery. What is the book value in the balance sheet? 9 lakhs. The profit will go to which account? Capital reduction account. Three lakhs. Then what happens next? Inventory is taken over by 5 lakhs in the book value, taken over by trade payables in full settlement of their dues kuduthirukam. 5 lakhs in book value. What is the trade payable settled through that? Trade payables for 5,92,000 of trade payable. We are settling with what? 5 lakhs of inventory. Debit the receiver. Trade payables account data are 5,92,000 to inventory. We are giving 5 lakhs. Balance will go to capital reduction account 92,000. Book value of the inventory taken over is 5 lakh. Not all the inventory taken over. Then we are issuing 11% debenture. Okay, investment to be reduced to market value. Investment to be reduced to market value. Capital reduction account data to which account? Investment account. What is the book value? 68,000. Market value is only 55,000. Now what is the reduction in value? 30?
30.
Then what is the next one? We are issuing debentures required for settling which one? Bank OD and overdraft கொடுத்திருக்காங்க. Make a fresh issue. Bank account date are how much of debentures? 3 lakhs to 11% debentures. Bank account data to 11% debentures account, 3 lakhs we issued. This will be used for repaying which one? Bank OD. Then what is given next? We have to write off, using this compulsorily we have to write off which one? Debit balance in which one? P&L account. Do they ask you to write off any intangible assets, etc.? So capital reduction account data to which account? The P&L account debit balance you have to eliminate. How much? 4,05,000 we need to eliminate. Prepare the capital reduction account. By preference share capital எவ்வளவு இருக்குங்க? 1,80,000 by 9% debentures. How much transferred? 3 lakhs. By trade payable 92,000 to investment 13,000 to P&L account written off to the extent of 4,05,000. The balancing for will be transferred to which account? Capital reserve. In this question, who are not foregoing anything? Equity shareholders do not forego anything. Equity shareholders, do they give up anything? No. So nothing is given. The balancing for can be transferred to which account? Capital reserve account. Then we have to prepare the balance sheet after what? Internal reconstruction. Any doubt in this question? 8% preference shares are converted into 11% debentures, balance waived. Debentures take over plant and machinery. Trade payable take over inventory. Investments are reduced. We issue fresh debentures. And of course, write off P&L account. And for this, one more entry you have to give in the exam. What is the entry? Capital reduction account data to capital reserve account 1,54,000. Start. Balance sheet after internal reconstruction. Sir, maybe in the classroom we can do it without a format. Exam point format follow panning. Number one, share capital. Share capital, equity share capital will continue as it is. What was the equity share capital? This equity share capital will continue. There is no change. Preference shares are cancelled. Number two, reserves and surplus. Which one will come? That capital reserve, the balancing for transferred, that will come. This is under shareholders funds. Long-term borrowings என்ன வரும்? And the 9% debentures are cancelled. Which debentures will come? That new debentures will come. This fresh issue. 11% debentures will come. Then example proper format follow பண்ணிக்கங்க. Okay, current liabilitiesல என்ன இருக்கு? 11% debentures இங்க ஒரு debentures கொடுத்திருக்கோம்ல. So this 3 lakhs plus this 4,20,000 will come. Long term borrowings வேற என்ன வரும்? Current liabilitiesல பாருங்க. Trade payable entire 5,92 settled? Yes. Trade payable settled. Then bank OD 1,50,000 இருக்கு இல்லையா? It will not appear. Why? Because the debentures are issued for settling which one? Bank OD. Paid through debentures. Bank OD is paid through debentures issue. That will also become nil. Automatic adjust ஆயிடும். Bank balance, bank OD balance set off ஆயிடும். Bank OD will have a negative balance. Once you pass this entry, it will become which balance? A positive balance அவ்வளவுதான். Please do with proper working notes. இந்த மாதிரி போட்டா ஒரு மார்க் கூட தர மாட்டாங்க. அவங்க இரிட்டேட் பண்ற மாதிரி ஆயிடும். Ensure that you are doing with proper format. Asset side பாருங்க. Thank you, sir. காஃபி குடிக்கலன்னா அது கெட்ட பழக்கம். காஃபி குடிச்சாதான் நல்ல பழக்கம். Assets. What are the assets? Plant, property and equipment என்ன வரும்? Plant, property and equipment what will come? Plant and machinery taken over by debentures. Furniture will continue. No change. Furniture 2,50,000 will continue. Then intangible. Intangible assets will continue. There is no change. We have not written off anything. Patent and copyright will continue. Then non-current investments. We reduce to market value 55,000. All these things comes under non-current assets. Current assets என்ன? Inventory, not everything taken over by trade payables. Not everything is taken over by trade payables. Look at the inventory. 14 lakhs. Like inventory taken over by 14 lakh minus 5 lakh. Remaining how much will come? Then trade receivables will continue. What is the trade receivables? 14 lakh 39,000. There is no change, Ilya. Then cash balance, cash and cash equivalents will change. How? Old balance 10,000 இருக்கு plus 3 lakhs debentures issue பண்ணிருக்கோம் minus OD 1,50,000 settle பண்ணிருக்கோம். 1,60,000 will come. Done. So compared to the problem that we solved, இதெல்லாம் ரொம்ப simple problem தான் இருக்கும். But இதை நம்பிட்டு நம்ம எக்ஸாம் போக முடியாது. You should be thorough in whatever we have done in the regular class. எல்லாமே lengthy sums are. இல்லை பார்த்தா they have not even reduced which one? Equity shares are not touched at all. Normally that intangible assets will be written off. Very adjustments ஓட தான் இருக்கும். So it's a very basic and fundamental problem. ஒரு பிகாம் லெவலில் தான் They've given model test papers. Done. We'll go for which one? RTP. This is revised test paper, question number 20. As part of reconstruction scheme, getting better limited, the following thing is agreed upon. Shareholders to receive present holding, present evallo holdings vechirukanga 10,000 shares of 50 each. They will get what? 15,000 preference shares of, equity shares of 10 each. 12% preference shares to the extent of 2 by 5 of the total equity shares கொடுத்திருக்காங்க. To pay them 50,000 and transfer remaining to which account? Reconstruction account. 8% preference share capital. Write down the value of preference shares to 50. Original face value was what? 100. 14% debentures 2 lakhs. Along with accrued interest 56,000 was waived off for the 3/4 of the total amount. Remaining will be paid in what? Cash. They just ask you to pass what? Journal entry. இது அதை விட கேவலமா ப்ராப்ளமா இருக்கு. Okay, we'll do. Or you will do. Try to pass the journal entry. $15,000 equity shares தரோம். Preference shares for 2/5 கொடுக்குறோம். Then we are paying cash 50,000. Balance will be transferred to capital reduction. Balance will be transferred to which one? Capital reduction. Try பண்ணுங்க. நீங்க சொல்லுங்க பார்க்கலாம். Entry. What is the first entry you will pass? This is model of practice. Practice test paper. Question number 20. What is the first entry you will pass? Equity share capital account data. எவ்வளோ shares இருக்கு சொல்றோம்? 10,000 shares into 15. இல்ல, old shares 10,000 into 50, 5 lakh. To what we are giving? Equity share capital. We are giving எவ்வளோ shares? 15,000 into 10. 1,50,000. Preference shares, 2/5 of the equity shares. This into 2 by 5. Then we are paying it in cash. Balance will go to capital reduction. Next பாருங்க. 8% preference shares We can 8% preference share capital account. Data, old value how much? 3 lakhs. Huh? 2, 2. Again 8% preference share capital account, 50 each. Direct entry one pass panla. Since the face value is changing, we are cancelling old and bringing the new. Then, what is the next one? 14% debenture holders. எவ்வளவு இருக்கு 14%? 2 lakhs. Debenture interest account data. What is amount due? Interest 56,000. இதில் என்ன பண்றோம்? 3/4 waived. 3/4 is waived. Is it total 3/4 is waived or only interest is waived? Total. Clear கொடுத்திருக்கான். Along with accrued interest 56,000 was waived off to the extent of what? 3/4 of the total amount. Balance என்ன தரும்? Cash. They just ask you to pass which one? Journal entries. Any doubt in it? So equity share capital balance is transferred to capital reduction. Preference shares balance is transferred to capital reduction. Debentures, how much is waived? 3/4 is waived. For the balance, we pay what? Cash and settled. This is question number 11 of your study material. Question number 11 of your study material. That is practical questions. Just look at the display. That is sufficient. Share capital 1 crore 50 lakhs. Reserves and surplus 6 lakhs. Negative balance. Long-term borrowing, trade payable, short-term provisions are given. Okay, non-current assets, current assets, அதோட working notes பாருங்க. Equity share capital 1 crore, preference share capital is what? 50 lakhs, total of 1 crore 50 lakhs. Debit balance of P&L account is given. Debentures கொடுத்திருக்காங்க. Provision for tax is there. Investments are having a market value of 9 lakh 50. All equity shares are reduced to 40 each. There are two types of entry you can pass. Equity share capital to capital reduction direct entry வேணாலும் போடலாம். Alternatively என்ன பண்ணலாம்? Old equity share capital account or full value to new equity shares how much? 40. Balance will go to capital reduction. Same way for preference shares also. Rate of debenture is increased to 12%. They will surrender 100 rupees each and get what? 70, which means cancel the old debentures. Debentures account date are to 12% debentures, 70%. Balance will go to what? Capital reduction. Balance will go to capital reduction. One of the creditors of the company to whom the company owes 20 lakhs decided to forego what? 40% of his claim, which means creditors accounted out to capital reduction. He is allotted 30,000 equity shares in full satisfaction of his claim. அவங்களுக்கு we have to give the equity shares. அதுக்கு separate entry வேணாலும் pass பண்ணலாம் or combine பண்ணிக்கலாம். Reduce the plant property equipment, reduce the current assets. Taxation liability is settled at what? 1,50,000. Provision for tax, only how much is there? 1 lakh is there, but we are paying 1,50,000. Excess will be adjusted in which account? Capital reduction account. Investments to be brought into market value. What is the value? 10 lakh to 9 lakh 50 we have to adjust it. 10 lakh to 9 lakh 50 we have to adjust it. Write off debit balance in which account? P&L account. P&L account. So let us go one by one. Let us do it in the notebook. Start. ICAI question number first, all existing equity shares are reduced to 2 each, 40 each கொடுத்திருக்காங்க. 1 crore இருக்கு இல்லையா, direct entry வேணாலும் pass பண்ணலாம், conversion entry வேணாலும் pass பண்ணலாம். Let us see what they have done. The journal, what they have done, அதே மெத்தட் நம்மளும் ஃபாலோ பண்ணி. They pass which entry? Conversion entry. Conversion entry pass பண்ணிருக்காங்க. Let us go with that. We can directly transfer equity share capital to capital reduction. அந்த மாதிரி வேணாலும் transfer பண்ணிக்கலாம். Or you can do the conversion entry. Pass the entry. What is the entry you will pass? Equity share capital account data are 1 crore to equity share capital. It will become 60 each, Ilya.
Become 40 each.
40 each. Reduced to 40 each. 40 lakhs to capital reduction. Balance 60 lakhs. Take it up along with me, no need to wait. Next, preference shares are reduced to 60 each. Preference share capital account data are, you look at the old value, what is the preference share capital? 50 lakhs. 50 lakhs to preference share capital 60 by 100. 50 lakhs into 60 by 100. 50 lakhs to capital reduction. Then, what is the next one? Rate of debenture is increased to 12%. Debentures எவ்வளவு இருக்காங்க பாருங்க, 40 lakhs. So cancel the debentures. 10% debentures account data are how much? 40 lakhs. We are giving 12% debentures account for 70%. Balance will go to capital reduction. Next என்ன கொடுத்திருக்கான் பாருங்க. Creditors forego how much? 20 lakh 40% forego பண்றாங்க. For that we are giving 30,000 shares of 40 each. Pass entry. Try to pass entry path. How much they forego? Creditors account data. How much they forego? $20 lakhs debit பண்ணிக்கங்க. They forego 40%. How much? But then what we are giving? Equity share capital account எவ்வளவு shares தரும்? 30,000 shares of 40 each. Now it will become what? 12 lakhs. They are settled. Then what is the next one? Plant property and equipment written off by 30%. Okay. What is a plant property equipment value? Plant property equipment value 1 crore 25 lakhs. 30% rate up பண்ண சொல்றாங்க. What is the entry will pass? Capital reduction account data to PPE 30% rate up பண்ணுங்க. How much? 37 lakh 50,000. Then combine பண்ணிக்கலாம் entry. Current assets they ask you to write off. Current assets. Current assets. என்ன பண்ண சொல்லிருக்காங்க? Current assets. 1 crore இருக்கு. They ask you to write off or reduce. Reduced, revalued 45 lakhs. So balance sheet 100 lakhs இருக்கு. Revalued 45 lakhs. Now what is the reduction? 55 lakhs. Combine பண்ணிக்கலாம் entry. Then taxation liability அப்புறமா வரலாம். Then to investment. What is the book value? 10 lakh or 1 crore? Investment order balance sheet value 10 lakhs. Market values 9.5 lakhs. Reduce it to the market value 50,000 varo. Then they ask you to write off debit balance in which account? P&L account. We can combine that also. What is the P&L account to be written off? Debit balance in P&L account and the 6 lakhs. They ask you to write off 6 lakhs. So plant property equipment reduced by 30%. Current assets 55 lakhs. Then investments to market value P&L account to be written off கொடுத்திருக்காங்க. Provision for tax எவ்வளவு இருக்கு பாருங்க. We've got only 1 lakh, but we have to pay cash. How much we have to pay? 1,50,000 we need to pay. Excess will be adjusted with capital reduction account 50,000. Anything else? Anything else? No, debit balance or P&L account, that's it. Next, we have to prepare which account? Capital reduction account. The balance, if any, we can transfer to which account? Capital reserve. Equity share capital. How much? 40 lakhs. By preference share capital. By 10% debentures. 12 lakhs. By creditors, they forego 8 lakhs. To sundry assets, example sundry assets போடாதீங்க. It's okay for classroom, 99 lakhs. To on the tax, எவ்வளோ tax pay பண்ணிருக்க extra? 50,000. The mistake பண்ணிருக்கானு பாருங்க.
மேல 10 lakhs போட்டிருக்கீங்க, இங்க equity share capital debt.
The balancing for will go to capital reserve. 1 crore 10 lakhs minus 99 lakh 50,000.
Preference 20 lakhs transfer.
20 lakhs, okay.
50,000.
50,000. Capital reserve 50,000. Then prepare the balance sheet. Prepare the balance sheet. Again, I am doing without a format. Example format follow பண்ணீங்க. Share capital. Share capital, how much will come? Equity ல பாருங்க எவ்வளோ reduce பண்ணிருக்கோம்? 100 lakhs ல எவ்வளோ reduce பண்ணிருக்கீங்க? 60 lakhs. 40 lakhs will come equity share capital.
Plus 12 lakhs.
Oh. Plus அந்த creditors கொடுத்து equity shares. So how much will come? 52 lakhs will come. Preference share capital 50 lakhs minus 20 lakhs, 30 lakhs will come. Then reserves and surplus. That capital reserve created will come. Then long-term borrowings. 40 lakhs minus 12 lakhs. 28 lakhs will come. Then trade payables. What is given as trade payables in the balance sheet, old balance sheet? 50 lakhs irukku illaya? In that 50 lakhs, adjustment is made to the extent of 20 lakhs. 20 lakhs la something is settled, something is waived. Anyhow, that is close to the extent of 20 lakhs. Balance how much will come? 30 lakhs will come. Provision for tax will not come. It is paid. Assets live, what will come? Plant, property and equipment. 30% written off illaya? So 70% will come. 1 crore 25 lakhs, 70% is written off, 30% is written off, so 70% will come. Then non-current investments market value 9,50,000. We adjusted that 50,000 already. Current assets எவ்வளவு இருக்குங்க? 45 lakhs less on the tax paid. We assume that sufficient current balance is available. Tax paid எவ்வளவு pay பண்ணிருக்கோம்? 1.5 lakhs pay பண்ணிருக்கோம். Balance will come. Current assets include cash balance இல்லையா? So we assume that sufficient balance is available. Alternatively, you can assume that it is not available, so I can show it as a bank coding மாதிரி கூட காட்டலாம். Bank balance is not available, so tax paid you can show it as which one? Bank coding. இதே மாதிரி ப்ராப்ளம் ஒன்று ரெகுலர் கிளாஸ்ல ஆல்சோ we would have done. I hope first problem இதே மாதிரி தான் பண்ணிருக்கோம். அதாவது Bharadwaj material first question would have been based on this. Taxation liability of the company is settled at 4 lakhs அந்த மாதிரி பார்த்தோம். Liability sideல provision for tax 3 lakhs இருந்திருக்கும், but we would have paid what? 4 lakhs அந்த மாதிரி இருந்திருக்கும். போருங்களா? Shall we? We'll do one more question, the next question in your material. Question number, this is question number 11. Question number 12 we'll do. This is question number 11. 12 part. The balance sheet of X Limited is given. We are given share capital, reserves and surplus minus கொடுத்திருக்காங்க. Long term borrowing, trade payables, short term borrowing, bank OD is given. Plant, property, equipment, intangible assets கொடுத்திருக்கான். Inventory, trade receivable, cash and cash equivalent. Equity shares are 24 lakhs. Preference shares are what? 12 lakhs. Debit balance in P&L account, debentures, land and building, plant and machinery, goodwill அந்த மாதிரி கொடுத்திருக்காங்க. Equity shares are reduced to what? 40 each. Preference shares are reduced to what? 75 each. Debenture holders took over the inventories and trade receivable in full satisfaction of their claim. Land and building appreciated by 30%, plant and machinery depreciated by what? 30%. Debit balance in P&L account to be eliminated. Intangible assets also to be eliminated. So in this question, they ask you to eliminate which one? Goodwill also. Even this goodwill, they ask you to write off. அந்த மாதிரி கொடுத்திருக்காங்க. Expense on reconstruction கொடுத்திருக்காங்க. Pass journal entry and prepare what? Balance sheet. Shall we start? What is the first one? Equity share capital and preference shares are reduced. Yeah. So in the exam or in the material, they passed conversion entry only. They passed which one? This conversion entry.
Yes, sir.
Question number 12 of ICAI material. Equity share capital account data. What is the old equity share capital?
54.
24,000 into 100, 24 lakhs. It is reduced to 40 each. 24,000 into 40. Balance will go to capital reduction. Preference share capital, 10% preference share capital. What is the old balance? 12 lakhs. It is reduced to 75 by 100. Balance will go to which account? Capital reduction account. Then, what do they tell you? Debentures. Debentures எவ்வளவு இருக்கு பாருங்க. What is the debentures? 10% debentures account data are 6 lakhs. 6 lakhs. They are taking over inventories. What is the balance sheet value? Then trade receivable 2 lakh. Inventories and trade receivables. What is the trade receivable given?
2,80,000.
2 lakh 80. The balance will go to which account? Capital reduction. Next,
Land and building appreciated by 30.
so land and building account data are to capital reduction account.
12 lakhs plus 30.
30% appreciation மட்டும் ரெக்கார்ட் பண்ணா போதும் இப்போதைக்கு.
12 lakhs.
How much? It's a gain. So debit the asset, transfer it to which account? Capital reduction account. Next,
Plant and machinery.
so we can pass a combined entry. Capital reduction account data are, we can combine everything into one entry. To which one? Plant and machinery எவ்வளவு percentage?
18 lakhs into 30%.
30%. 18 lakhs into 30%. You write off profit and loss account
14 lakhs.
14 lakh 40,000. அப்புறம்
Goodwill 9.
eliminate goodwill, intangible asset goodwill. Balance sheet 90,000 இருக்கு, eliminate. Cash for expenses. We can pass a separate entry also or a combined entry also. Anything is fine. Then prepare which account? Capital reduction account. By equity share capital, this amount reduced. By preference share capital, what is amount reduced? 3 lakhs. By debentures, how much? Debentures like 60,000 is there. Then by land and building appreciation, what is the land and building appreciation? 3 lakh 60,000. Then various things. Written off. Plant and machinery written off 5,40,000. Profit and loss account written off to the extent of 14,40,000. So goodwill written off 90,000. To cash for expenses 5,000. The balancing for will go to capital reserve. Prepare the balance sheet after this. Please follow a proper format. இந்த மாதிரி போடாதீங்க examல. Okay, and you must write narration. Wherever they give you a journal entry, you must give what? Narration. Without that, you cannot write. So, share capital. What will be the share capital? Equity share capital எவ்வளவுங்க? The new equity share capital 9,60,000. Preference share capital, new preference share capital 9 lakhs. Reserves and surplus, that capital reserve will come. What is the capital reserve we created? 85,000. This balancing for will come. Then debentures closed நினைக்கிறேன். All debentures to core what? Inventory and trade receivable that is closed. Then trade payables இருக்கா? In balance sheet, whatever is there, that will come. No change. What is the trade payable?
3 lakhs.
3 lakhs.
Total
Bank OD will continue. There is no change in the bank OD 6 lakhs. Wait பண்ணுங்க. The expenses pay பண்ணிருக்கோம் இல்லையா? Is there a cash balance available in the asset side? Yes, cash balance is available. We can adjust with that. Assets என்னென்ன வரும்? Plant, property, equipment and the less 30%. Plant and machinery less 30%.
30 lakhs minus
And the 30 lakhs minus
5 lakhs.
Plant, property, equipment பாருங்க. Plant and building was taken over இல்லையா? Appreciated. அதுல okay. Land and building plus 30%
12
எடுத்துக்கணும்.
lakhs.
12 lakhs.
15 lakhs.
Then plant and machinery minus 30%.
18 lakhs.
Then investments. Investments இருக்கா? No investments. Current assets பாருங்க. Inventory will not come. Why? Taken over by debenture holders. Then trade receivables also taken over by debenture holders. Cash balance எவ்வளவு கொடுத்திருக்கோம்? 30,000 minus expenses 5,000. 25,000 will come. Any doubt in the journal entry? Any doubt in the balance sheet that we prepare? Actually, I started with the easy chapters, buyback and which one? Internal reconstruction. Just to tell you that if you revise the classroom notes and come, it will just take 1 to 1.5 an hour for every chapter to complete. And this is how you have to learn for exam also. Last minute எப்படி learn பண்ணி இந்த மாதிரி தான். Just run through the classroom notes, then attend revisions where you are getting the knowledge for your exam kind of a thing. Revise பண்ணாம வந்தீங்கன்னா it will be like ரொம்ப difficult-ஆ இருக்கும். But this chapter buyback revise பண்ணாம இருந்ததாலும் புரிஞ்சிருக்கும். Internal reconstruction is to do with what? Increase and reduction in which one? Assets and liability. You can easily understand these two chapters, but final accounts and which one? Amalgamation, you must go through. Next topics are going to be what? Final accounts and which one? Amalgamation, you must go through and come. So apart from this work, what I request is, of course, classroom work primary. Second is, of course, the revision work. Third one is the remaining problems in your material. Whatever is the remaining problem, I request you to go through. That is definitely required. Live online friends, any doubt in this question? Any doubt in this balance sheet?